I'll find out. I'll bring him I'll bring him on stage now. How you doing, man?
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, introduce yourself.
My name's Gary. I'm the singer for Maze.
Brilliant. A very British name, that. I love it. Gary. There's not many Garys now, is there? Do you know what I mean? There's not many Garys.
Apparently we're getting extinct.
There's no Garys out there. I'm telling you, it's going to there'll be no one around called Gary. They're all called, they're all wacky names, aren't they? Jordan and Mercedes and things like that. You know what I mean? Popcorn and fucking whatever else. The world's gone stupid. People, start calling your babies Gary again, for God's sake. It's a good name. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Gary.
We need more Garys, yeah. We
do need more. I love that track, mate. Do you know what I mean about that track about 2 minutes 15 in? It sounds like Altered Images, I Should Be Lucky. You know what I mean? No?
I've got an idea what you mean, yeah.
It's good.
We've had all sorts. We've had like a bit of an Ocean Colours thing in comparison.
Yes, definitely.
We've had Shed 7 comparison, you know what I mean? So it's, we've had Stone Roses. So it's, I mean, the more that I don't mind, the more the merrier. Really, we take bits of all sorts. You know what I mean? So it's always all
Yeah. Okay. What's that? Monterey. What button has Kirk accidentally leant on? Why? What's gone on? Has it gone off? Has everything gone off, or what's the score? I don't know. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means by that at all. It's back on. It must have gone off. Sorry, people. It'll be on the rerun anyway, or on YouTube. Sometimes we keep losing the feed for some reason. Lagged out. Question. We're going to have some questions from Lele Records. Tell us a bit about the band Maze. How many's in the band?
There's 5 of us in the band. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, yeah. And you're here on your own, but out of the 5 of you, if there was a zombie apocalypse, which one would die first?
Probably me, because I'm the most unluckiest git you'll ever meet. You know what I mean? So,
we asked that band sometimes, and even when there's a load of them, and instantaneously the whole band will point at one person and go in. And it's just unbelievable. It's an amazing question. If you're in management, people, and you've got a team around you, and get them all together around the room, if you have your monthly meeting, go, right, out of you lot, which one would die in a zombie apocalypse? And whoever they point at, sack them straight away, because they're crap. Get them out of there. No good. You don't need that don't need that negativity on your team, do you? I mean, Gary, you going, mate? Sorry about that on Mixcloud. I don't know what's going on. No idea, but we'll carry on it because it's rock and roll. We don't stop for nobody. Brilliant, mate. Brilliant track. So what have you been? How did you form?
We formed during lockdown. Me and Paul Bassam, who's like the main songwriter, we've been friends for years anyway. So we was in an old band together, and we just sort of formed a little WhatsApp group with a couple of lads during the actual 2020 lockdown. I mean, you come up with all these ideas, and literally the moment we can get a rehearsal studio in 2021, that's when things just took off.
Nice.
So we went from there, yeah.
Cool.
So we're like a lockdown band, as some people say,
Well, do you know the amount of people we interviewed from the last couple of years? A lot of them started around 2020 for some reason. As a lot of things changed, didn't they? For good, bad, or indifferent. There's some real positives come out from that, and some real negatives. Yeah. So where are you based?
We're all from London, South London, sort of South East London, London, yeah.
I didn't want to cast aspersions. There was a little twang in your voice. I don't know what it is, but it was a little twang. I thought he's going to get double busy now, and he's going to go all off on something. I bet you hate that shit, don't you, Mickey Flanagan? Mickey Flanagan. Do you like Mickey Flanagan, or do you think he's a prat?
Well, he's a West Ham fan, so I think he's a bit of a prat, but he's all right. I mean, I think he's all right. I think he's all right.
I think he's one of my favourite comedians of all time.
Yeah.
I just think
he says a lot of the stuff he jokes about. You think, or you've said it, or you've been there. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, exactly. Proper
stuff you can relate to. You know what I mean?
Proper. I love him to bits. Oh, here we go. Lele Records coming in with the very serious questions, and this one because he says, does he support Man United?
No. You couldn't get anywhere. You couldn't get far away from Man United.
So is it? If you had to pick between Man U and Man City, which one would you pick? And I'm not going to edit that and put it out there, but just a question.
I'm a South London boy, so I don't.
Okay, that's fine. I don't like football anyway, so it doesn't bother me. I couldn't care less. They could. I was going to say they could grass them all over, but they're already grassed, aren't they? They could just put sheep on for me. He says favourite sweet from the corner shop.
Twix.
A Twix. Now, do you normally pay for it or do you normally nick it? That's
it all depends how old you are. Actually, South London are probably nicking it. Right?
No, one for me, one for you. Yeah, there you go. What does it say? So are two of the rifles Chelsea must be? I don't know what that means. I've no idea what that means. No idea. Doesn't make sense. Can you expand on that, Mantaray? It doesn't make sense on text. Anyway, we'll find out in a minute. So what have you been up to? Have you been gigging? Where have you been playing?
We've had couple of big gigs recently. One with, funny enough, the fellow who just mentioned the Rifles. We actually played with the Rifles, the band of Rifles, at the Priory Festival. That's what I think. I don't know whether he's talking about the band of Rifles, but we played with them. We played with them in August with the Farm and Space in a festival down in Kent. That was about a month ago, and then about 2 weeks ago we was in Brighton for the Mob Weekend.
Well, that's what it means then, because Mantray was at an event the other week, so he's probably seen you playing there. Mantray's in a band; he's down around the Bristol area, which is great. And I was this is the cracker. I was talking to Ian Gallagher yesterday, not the Gallaghers. He rides on that. Ian Gallagher from Gallagher's Green, and he was telling me a story. Basically, I'll ask the question. He says, "Has he ever had a sound engineer on a skateboard?" And you've probably not, have you? Right. So this is they went to a gig once, and a sound engineer turned up an hour late for the gig on a skateboard. And do you know what his reason for being late was? Traffic.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, seriously. So that's absolutely insane. And on that, what I normally like to ask bands is any funny things that have gone, disasters that have happened at a gig, because they normally end up being quite funny. And after.
No, only when I was gigging the other week and the lead come out of the microphone, I started singing and nothing was coming out. And I didn't know what was going on, but that literally, that was only for seconds, and I was literally spinning around in circles thinking what's going on here. And you could tell everyone was laughing but trying to carry on. But that's probably, that's probably the only thing I can remember really. Yeah.
Someone came out behind you like that.
Yeah.
Can't hear anything. Mark, you could have blagged it and said that's a long intro to that track. That's a long intro track. I like it. But those disasters, there's loads we hear about bands on stage, and they turn out to be, at the time, they're actually the nightmares, aren't they? You know what I mean? You hate it, but after the event, they can be quite amusing and quite fun, and look back on them. And they're those elements of your gigging that you'll remind you of. So on the plus side to that, then what's a highlight? Well, what's the gig that you like loved, or something happened and you thought, wow, that's awesome?
Probably we done our very first headline about this time last year, which is in Camden, and we sold it out. The fact that it sold out in 2 days was absolutely amazing. Obviously it was our very first headliner, but I think coming on stage to a packed out Dublin Castle in Camden on our very first headline night was probably, and every song everything just seems to go well that night. So that's the one. That's the one when that's what little dreams are made of. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. And yeah, it's nice to understand that what was good for you, and if the stars aligned on that evening and it's got a good vibe, that's absolutely fantastic. So was that your gig? Was you headlining it? Did you say? You said
that was a very first headline gig. That was around about this time last year. So. That obviously we've never headlined before. We've always been supporting, because we're only 2 or 3 years old. So, and we're happy to support bands. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that was our very first headline, and it sold out in 2 days, which was firstly was amazing, and then it just buzzed. It was such a buzzing night. So.
Excellent. So you said at the start that you formed during lockdown, and obviously people like that's what to do. So what? Was you all musically inclined, or did you have to? What, you know what I mean? How does that work? Because if I sat and go, do you know what? Let's do a band. You've got to have people that can play the instruments, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, me and Paul was in bands anyway, and the other 2 lads have been in bands, and it was just a connection of Paul knew one of them, I knew one of them, and we started a WhatsApp group, and then people putting demos on, and people putting acoustic versions of songs, and and it just sort of built from there, really, So.
So what you've got a bit of you mentioned a few bands or a few sounds, and someone on, I think it was our friends from Brazil, said sounds a bit Britpop. What was the influence for the band?
Yeah, I mean, if you listen, I think a lot of people will say Britpop. We have got a 90s sound to us, I'd say. Oasis have got to be out there. You know, most of us are all big Oasis fans. I think, but even further, I like a couple of lads, you know, Small Faces and the Kinks and stuff like that. You know, so I think it's like a blend of the '60s to the '90s. You know, with as someone says it, a modern edge.
Yeah, and I think that's what's happening in the minute within the scene when you've got the bands that we're interviewing and we're listening to. It's like you've amalgamated all that stuff from those eras and put them together. So the likes of Oasis would have been are heavily influenced by the Beatles, aren't they? So they can't have been influenced by themselves or the stuff that was spurned from them.
Yeah.
So the current lot of artists have got a bigger back catalogue to pick from, cherry pick from, and be influenced by. I think it's good. And I mean, this is a question that's just popped into my head really, but I've been thinking about it a lot really. You get the likes of Gallagher and Noel going, and Liam, no, you know, there's no rock and roll bands anymore. They're not doing what we're doing. But I think times have changed. What do you agree with that? And what do you reckon the rationale is behind that?
I mean, if they're talking about, I suppose, off stage, you know, like the antics. I mean, I suppose in a way, a lot of it has changed. I don't think you don't hear about, you know, bands you know, with the drink and the getting fighting in pubs, or you know, the throwing things out of hotel windows. You know, I think that in that sense, I think a lot of that's changed. But in terms of the actual like the passion for music, guitar music, I think it's better now than what it's been for a long time. There's so many good bands out at the moment. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm glad you answered that, because what I've been thinking is that the landscape has changed. What people want to do, especially not everyone, especially the younger generation, are not doing the let's go out Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, let's go to a club and all that. The drinking type of activity is not the same. Not saying they don't drink, but it's not the same as it used to be. And all that drugs. I'm not saying they don't take drugs, because obviously some of them do. A lot of them like the weed, don't they? Don't like the coke, they like the weed. So that calms them down. So, but I think every young band I've seen seem totally a lot more level-headed and a lot more about getting business done, about getting the craft right, about the sound, about the look. Whereas the likes of Oasis, and I'm not knocking for them, were in a different era where they could be absolute knobheads and everyone loves them for it, and it propels them to stardom because, wow, it's rock and roll. I mean, I had a band here about 2 years ago in my studio, right? Remember it well. Got a load of beer. They were staying over. I got a load of beer in for them. I got about 4 cans of Coke just in case once I want to. And do you know what? Only one of the band members had a drink, and I think he had 2 cans. And I was like, "Are you staying overnight?" And I was like, This is madness. This is madness. Why I couldn't believe it. And I think there's a lot like that. There's exceptions, but picking on what you said, also there is. I hate it when people say, "Oh, the music's not good anymore. Nothing's like the '70s," and that's because of where they grew up with. But if you listen to some of the bands and some of the tracks we play tonight, they stand shoulders and shoulders to other things. You know, they're both as good as each other.
Yeah, I think. Again. The statement about the rock and roll thing, what you know, the Gallagher's now, you know, but I think probably a lot of it is off stage. You know what I mean? The way people act. I mean, you couldn't, like with bands like us, you know, we got to do a lot of social media work. I couldn't see Noel Gallagher doing Instagram posts and Facebook posts in the '90s. Obviously, because it was before all that time. It was before all that stuff began. So I suppose they had you had more labels, you had more money involved in music. People had more freedom to go and get pissed every night in bands, you know what I mean?
Well, can't even frigging drive, can he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
can't even drive.
Yeah.
Drive.
I mean, because there's no money in music, and there's no, like, you know, most bands don't earn nothing, so you ain't got that freedom.
And I think that's a big impact. You go and try and get a bag of Coke. You're not doing that every night of the week, 6 of your eye. It's not going to happen, is it? Not going to happen.
Because most of us got to go to work the next morning.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So
correct. There's some right questions. I'm not going to ask you these questions, but I'm going to read some of them out. And I'm not asking them, but they've gone mental on the questions tonight, which is great. I love it because it interacts and it helps the algorithms. You know what I mean? But this last one's just coming from Leader Records. When was the last time anyone saw a white dog poo? Where have they all gone? Used to be everywhere in the 70s, didn't they? 70s and 80s. Good afternoon, in Maze Band. That's Gregory. All Jan and Cookie Boy. This is a sensible one. What's your favourite song to play live?
Well, at the moment, it's become the new one.
Yeah, I like
Passage
that.
of time. Yeah, we got a long intro, so we get people clapping to it and things like that.
Nice.
So, we got a song called "Twisted Little Soul" that we stop at the breakdown, and a lot of the crowd are singing the breakdown bit to us now. So people starting to learn the words.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, Passage of time. We played it the last 2 gigs. You know, it's quite new, obviously. So, but it's already become one of my little personal favourites. So
yeah. And do you know when you're doing a track like that and you got the breakout and then they start singing, do their hairs on the back of your neck all stand up?
It's you know, again, like I said earlier, it's what dreams are made of. You know what I mean? I got, you know, I never afford that, you know, singing back to one of our songs. You know what I mean? So
it's mega, mate. I love it. I love it. Because my name's not Dougie, but there's Dougie Stone Radio, and I go by the name Dougie, and that for me that's weird because if I go to some events or go somewhere and go, oh, someone goes Dougie, and I go, who the fuck? Oh, that's me. It's mad, and I know you. But that must be awesome when people recognise you or they're singing your music. Another daft question, you don't have to answer it. When dolphins play trumpets, do they blow it through their mouths or their blowhole? That's the question.
I reckon the blowhole. It's got to be the blowhole.
It's got to be the blowhole, hasn't it?
Yeah,
it's a bit like another one with the giraffe with the tie. Does he wear it down here or does he? I don't know. I'm full of them myself. It's wonderful, wonderful. So, have you got planned coming up, gig wise, or releasing, or what's on the cards?
Next week on the 29th, we're actually supporting another amazing band called Marseille down in Southampton, the Joiners.
Well,
yeah,
that is brilliant because we had them on last week.
They are fantastic. I mean, there's such a, and again, their sound, isn't it? You could that could be influenced by the 90s. You know, they've got a very
definitely
remind me a bit of the Stone Roses sort of thing. You know, like,
yeah. And we interviewed them about 2 years ago when we first started the show, and we've been trying to get them back on. They've done Isle of Wight Festival. They've done this is their second tour, which is their tour. They've got bands on that we've interviewed on this show. They've got Subterranean on. They've got you on. They've got. And they are. I just love what they've done and how they've evolved and the sound that. And they are. He's very professional in what he's doing, and I love him to bits. Say hi to him when you see him. But they are. Well done to get on the gig with them because.
Yeah. We become good friends with them. We actually supported him in London last year, and it sold out that gig. And we've become good friends with them, and then we got like a mutual connection with Echo Based Music, Ross for that. We've become good mates with them.
Brilliant.
We hope to be working with them in the future again. So, you know, but yeah, I mean, I think, and also our sound goes with Marseille.
Yeah.
I think we could have that in a lineup.
Yeah.
You know, it went really well last year. So we're buzzing to be supporting them again.
Yeah, I'm buzzing you're playing with them as well. I think you're the third band that I know of who's supporting them. I've not looked at all the lineups that we've had on here, so that's great for us as well. It just shows. This show is about bringing people together, a movement rather than just having listeners or just play music. And you know, I love to see the interactions with the listeners, with the band. I love to see the bands that are interacting, seeing them growing, and that is absolutely testament to what we're doing. Love it. What's his mantra? Great to see Maze getting on this feeling roster too. They put on some great gigs. There you go.
Oh wow, brilliant. Yeah,
and he's a fellow artist as well, so he's, you know what I mean, he should know what he's talking about.
Yeah,
brilliant. So you've got, is that an EP you've had out? Have you had an EP out?
We debut album came out 2 years ago. Chaos Interrupted.
Yeah,
and then we had the EP Letters to London come out last year, and then we've had the 2 singles come out this year.
Yeah, I thought you did because when I've looked at discography, there's a load of tracks with the same cover on.
Yeah,
that's got to be a bloody hell. And if you look at your streams, you're doing really well on the old Spotify as well, aren't you? On some of your tracks, have gone step too soon. Was that your first track? Did you say?
No, that was a single that came out, first track of the EP that came out last year.
Let's have a little snippet of this.
We actually got a Dino from the Oasis.
One step too soon, lead me straight back to you. One step too soon, takes me further away from you.
Oh yeah, liking that. You were saying Dino was on it, Dean Mumford.
Yeah, yeah. He done all the strings and done some keys for us on that, and he's done his own version of the song as well. So we got it as a B-side.
That's
So
brilliant.
yeah.
So that straight away, as soon as that kicks in, it propels you back to. I know we shouldn't be saying it. The 90s, doesn't it? It propels you straight back there. Wonderful. I like that. And that's had 65,000 streams. So well done for that. Love it.
Thank you very much.
Not that you'll get anything out of it. You probably get about 0.2 of a pence for 63,000 streams, which is, I mean, that's insane as well, isn't it? You know what you must all be working then to fund your passion.
Yeah. It's a conversation everyone has, don't they? You have to be on Spotify to get yourself out there, but and it looks good getting the streams, but you don't make nothing from it. We've all got jobs. We have to we only rehearse like once a month because of jobs and everything. So yeah, I mean, when you hear 64,000 streams, it's amazing. Of course, it's amazing, but financially, it hasn't.
I mean, if you look at your tracks, 60, 70, 80, 90, 110, 130, 140, 40, 50, 60. You've got nearly 200. You've got nearly 200,000 streams there on your tracks. Now imagine if that was 200. If that was 200,000 singles, you'd be quite happy, wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Even if you got a quid per single, you'd be laughing your socks off. And this is the insane thing about it. We're all of us, Spotify, whatever, iTunes, free music, blah, blah, blah. I think the value in music has, in some respects, has dropped because, people used to have to save to buy a particular track and listen to it. And so it's made it throwaway. So, yeah, Spotify, you're never going to make any money from streams. But what I always say, it's your shop window, isn't it? So it's your way that people will gravitate towards you. They'll find you, come and watch your gigs or buy. Do you sell merch as well?
Yeah. Again, money per hit. We ain't got too much merch, but we've managed to. For the last couple of gigs, we made a few money out of it, a few bits, a few quid out of it. So we have got T-shirts, we've got CDs. We ain't got much. We love to have vinyl, but we just can't afford it.
No.
We love to, But yeah, CDs and T-shirts is where we have got.
Yeah. So. Cool. Well, keep going, man. You never know if Marseille keep going in the trajectory they're going, you might end up at the O2 and be laughing your socks off them, might you? Do you know what I mean?
Love to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they're playing at the Etihad or something like that, then you won't go because you wait. I think you put your principles back to one side for that one, yeah. I had to throw that out there, mate. I had to do that. Listen, Linda, I'm gonna let you get on with your day, with your evening, man. Is there anything I've not asked you that you want to get out there, or want to talk about, or publicise, or promote?
Just say thanks to people like yourself for giving us the opportunity to come on, to do these things. If it wasn't for people like yourself, bands like us, wouldn't be able to advertise and get out there. So yeah. Every time I do a podcast interview or anything like this, I always say thank you to you. Well, at the end, you know what I mean? It's amazing. So,
we thank you as well. And the only thing I always say to bands, if you are playing the O2 or the Etihad, and you hear this knock on the dressing room door, you better open it because I's coming in. We're having an interview. Yeah. That's what I want. That is my dream, man. Is to be sat backstage. What we also ask bands to do is an artist drop. Can you say this is Maze and you're listening to Dougie Stone Radio?
This is Maze and you're listening to Dougie Stone Radio.
Love it, mate. Love it. What have you got planned for the rest of the evening? You going out to the pub or something like that?
No, mate, I only got home for work an hour ago, so I'm shattered. Yeah.
Well, we didn't ask you that. What do you do for a job?
I work for a law firm, so I sort of supervise in the post room. So I do all the post and scanning and photocopying and all the court runs. They're like Jimmy out of Quadrophenia. I'm like that, but
awesome, mate.
Well, basically, I've got an office job. I'm in the office every day.
Excellent.
I don't work from home. You know what I mean? So
I do a bit of van driving. Go all over the place. Go in London a lot. I hate it. And I do motorcycle test riding, which I was doing today in the rain, which is everyone says, "Oh, it's a dream job, Kirk." And I'm riding today, thinking, "Oh yeah, all these people going, it's a dream job," and it was literally just like. And I was blowing all over the motorway, doing about 75 miles an hour. Don't tell me, Mum. Yeah, and actually they're on. They said they think you sound great. So that's high praise because they don't often compliment stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Again, thank you, mate. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for your time, because you could be bothered to come on and have a chat with us, and we really appreciate
No,
it.
love to.
Listen, it's not a one-hit wonder, so as we get going and you've got other stuff to do, you want to come back on, have a word with Jan, we'll bring you back on, we'll have a chat. If you can do us any little snippets from gigs and send them to Janice backstage or going on stage or anything, we'll put it on the show, because we want more stuff like that to put out to people. All right.
Definitely, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's been absolutely wonderful. I'm going to let you get going. We're going to get back on with the show, and we'll speak to you soon, yeah?
Thank you very much, mate. Cheers.
No, thank you. Wonderful.
Take care, mate.
Cheers, buddy. That was wonderful.
Good luck,
That's
bye-bye.
Maze, people. Maze!